Hi, my name is Al Green. Not that one, but the struggling guy who was in the music industry for years trying to sell talent and songs to agents. The agents befriended me and taught me techniques that I want to pass on to you through my program, which is called You Can Talk, You Can Sell. Anyone who has ever taken this program has excelled in selling and either risen to the top of their company, their team, or the top of their field. It's called You Can Talk, You Can Sell, and you can get it right here. You don't have to be unemployed. You don't have to be searching for a job. There's a lot of jobs out there right now for two reasons that they talk about. They say, well, people want to work at home, so they're finding ways to work from home. That's one reason. The other reason is people don't want to have to go to a job. But if you are inclined to do sales, let me give you one little secret that will definitely help you. That is, as a salesperson, you can get just about any job you want. It's real simple. But the easiest way to get a job as a salesperson is to go to a company that has outside salespeople or sales representatives. Now, we train consultants. I train consultants, people that are one-on-one consultative selling, people that are dealing directly with people. And so people skills come into the play, and there's a lot of them. But how do you get a job like that? Don't look in the newspaper. Well, no, you can look in the newspaper, the job postings. We used to say newspaper. You can look in the job postings and you can find out where they're looking. But if you go through the process of putting in the resume, trying to get an appointment with HR, let me tell you how to circumvent that and get yourself preferred. Call that company. Find out who the sales manager is. Now, the sales manager, in addition with HR, does all the hiring. They might tell you when you call them that you can't talk to that person. You can get through to any sales manager by saying, I need to speak to, let's say, a person by the name of William Rice. I need to speak to Mr. Rice on account of bringing him sales that he might not be aware of. And you call back and leave that message. Get Mr. Rice on the phone when you find out he is the sales manager where you'd like to work. Now, it doesn't matter what you're selling. Let's say you're selling home burglar alarms, or, what they call security alarms. Or you're selling cars, or you're selling whatever it could be that you're selling. If you're going business to business, it could be something simple as equipment for an office, computers, or whatever. You get to whatever it is that your company you're going to be targeting is selling. So let's say they're selling alarm systems. There's a lot of those companies, and they make big money, and they pay commissions because they hire salespeople who go out and they canvass the field and they look for customers. Selling alarm systems is not a difficult sale. They will teach you the words to say. The rest is the way that you come across to the customer as a professional. That's very good. When you learn the craft, which no matter what job you have, you're going to learn the craft, do some diligence, learn everything you can about the product. Let's say it's alarm systems. So you approach the sales manager, you get an appointment by saying that you can bring him business you happen to know, and he's going to ask you questions. Well, how? How are you going to bring me business? Just start with this. This is where you take over the conversation. And your salesperson, your sales manager will listen to you. How many of these, this is what you would say, how many of these alarm systems do I have to sell so I can get one for me at my house? Usually it's going to end up with, are you looking for work? We're looking for people that have that kind of assertive attitude. It's very easy to talk yourself into it. They might say, well, you have to put in a resume and go through HR. Great. Well, you give me a recommendation. That way you can bypass all the other people. And because companies are equal opportunity, they may have to interview a bunch of people. But you're going to stand out as the one person who is going to shine above the others because they're just looking for work. You want to actually sell this. If you do your homework on alarm system and you say, you know, today with the internet, there's so many methods that people can have security on their own. What's the difference between hiring a professional company and people buying their home alarm systems at the big box stores or Best Buy? You know that the company you're applying for has something different to offer. And you tell them, I'm very much aware of that, and that's a great advantage, but you don't have to have a college degree. There is no college degree for Salesman of the Year. So you basically are going to explain to your prospective boss that you know exactly what the system does. I know that it's hardwired. It's hardwired through the phone company, and it's hardwired through the internet, and it's hardwired to other security systems. Maybe other companies, local response teams, neighborhood watch, whatever it might be. Do your research and find out. When you show your sales manager that you have all the knowledge of what the customers are looking for, you are going to be preferred to get that job. I tested this myself many years ago when I decided I'm going to try a different type of selling. I wanted to sell technology in a different industry. And I thought it would be cool to sell to recording studios because I spent time doing recordings when I was in the music industry years ago. And I didn't know how to sell. And I went to the manufacturer of one component that I knew a lot about because I studied it. And I asked him that question. How many of these do I have to sell so I can get one for me? He sat me down that minute and said, are you looking for work? Okay, now, a lot of times these companies will give you a salary plus commission, or they'll give you what's called a ramp up. You got 3 months before you switch over to commission only, and they'll pay you what they expect your commissions to be. Well, you'll find that out. And if one company isn't as receptive, you can go to other companies. There's plenty of companies out there that are looking for salespeople. Believe it or not, there are commercial trash hauling companies that need salespeople. And I'm not talking about getting a job on the order desk, and I'm definitely not talking to telemarketers, and I'm definitely not speaking to people that are doing multi-level marketing. I'm talking about legitimate, not that multi-level marketing isn't legitimate, but multi-level marketing is a whole different genre, and I don't sell to those people. I sell to companies, to the sales managers, to the business owners, and to the salesmen that need to get from the bottom 80% into the top 20%, usually in the top 5 of the top 20%. And the techniques that are taught in my coaching program will definitely bring you to a much higher level of sales because it's worked for everyone who has ever taken the course. It never fails. If you apply the techniques, it never fails. You could be working tomorrow if you follow this approach to sell something that you want for yourself. And it could be so many different markets. You have a world of different markets you could do. You could be selling furniture, carpeting, roofing. How many houses do I have to sell to re-roof to get my house re-roofed? That kind of thing. It's even worked with cars, but cars are a different market, and they expect you to have quite a bit of product knowledge about the cars, and if you don't, it's kind of hard to learn that much about cars right away. But there are plenty of people selling cars, and right now, you're competing with a lot of the internet. So why do they need outside salespeople? Why do they need people to deal with other people one-on-one? Because they still have to have that extra component to give them a slight advantage over the internet. The internet cannot provide every bit of service that a direct salesperson can. So you might want to be that person that is one-on-one. I'm not looking for those people that want to do infomercials, because you don't want to be a talking movie. You want to be a person who's communicating with the customer and giving them a perception that's slightly different so they can move up and go, yeah, I think I want one of those. Some things that are right today in today's market are so easy to sell. Alarm systems is a slam dunk. There's details. Remember, we talked in an earlier program that I taught about concept to detail. There are details, but those come pretty much after the fact. And when you speak knowledgeably about your product, you come across with great confidence. So if they say, well, how long does it take to get this installed? Okay? You'll be able to answer them. What are the costs involved? Well, there's installation, we have to pull a police permit, or whatever it might be. But you're going to give them the answer and say, I'll walk you through it, it's a piece of cake. How can we finance this? I've got 5 different ways to finance it, and I'll walk you through the steps, and we'll get you financed, whatever it might be. But whatever it is that you want to do to get a job, you could do it right away. You don't have to be applying and waiting for the roulette wheel to turn where it's your favor so you can get an interview and you're up against 15 other people within the same hour that want the same job you do. No, you bypass the process and you go straight to the sales manager and you tell them, I want to sell what you have, I understand it, and I want to know how many do I have to sell so I can get one for free. Try that and you'll be amazed if you're looking for work. Or if you want to change jobs. Definitely helps.